بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم ربنا أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم أرنا حقائق الأشياء كما هي، ربنا زدنا علما وعملا وإخلاصا يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر أولياءك في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها، اللهم انصرهم على عدوك وعدوهم، إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم فرج عنا من إخواننا في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها، اللهم نفس كربنا وكربهم وثبت أقدامنا وأقدامهم والطف بنا وبهم يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. وصل وسلم على سيدنا ومولانا وحبيبنا وشفينا وطبيب قلوبنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذريته أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. آمين آمين يا رب العالمين. Okay, so we continue reading of Reconstruction of Religious Thought in Islam. It's about this part. I want to get over it again. Personally, I believe that the ultimate character of reality is spiritual. Yes, Salam Iqbal. It's not clear what spiritual is here, but we can assume that it's not material. And by ultimate character, probably he means essence. So by the ultimate character of a thing, we can mean a few things. We can mean its intrinsic nature. We can mean its essential properties. And they are interrelated things. These all fundamental reality is just rephrasing the word, I guess. And of these three, on the face of it, the most promising is the essential property. So by ultimate reality, we might mean essential properties of reality. Are those essential realities extension and is length in depth, and is material or something else? It's not very clear. So if we say the ultimate energy, for example, we can also say that ultimate reality of energy is, in a similar way, we can say the ultimate reality of energy is matter. When people say ultimate reality, I mean many things, obviously. It's hard to pinpoint. For example, if you say ultimate reality of matter is ultimate reality is spiritual. Firstly, how do you define a spirit as against matter? Maybe spirit as thinking, spirit has freedom. The spirit is fashioned uh, after human being, in a sense, without body. Um, so spirit has two aspects. Spirit, sometimes people in Western philosophy, spirit and mind are often used as synonyms, but not in Iqbal's. At least not. This is not his background understanding. Um, so, uh, ultimate reality of nature is spirit. Spirit can mean and not matter. um, so, matter. If the essential character of matter is extension, then we'll say the spirit doesn't have uh, extension. That is the negative essential, but positive can be freedom and thinking. So, in that sense, the spirit is something like human beings, but without their limitations. Things like that. Um, and in this concept, matter, as we understand it, is something that, in the sense that it doesn't have a spirit, it doesn't think, it doesn't have freedom. But then there's a concept of lower and higher forms that gels with monisms. So you have a spirit, but this is spirit is the highest form, and that the spirit manifests itself or in lower forms, which are um, earth, life, and then matter, and so on. So it's not clear, but at least it gives us some understanding of what he might be talking about. And when he's saying ultimate reality, he can mean um, ultimate reality. He can mean that matter is in essentially spirit, for example. sense of matter is spirit, or you can say matter is the manifestation of spirit, and spirit is a real thing. You can say spirit created matter. Things like what caused matter to be what it is. So these sort of things come to mind when someone say the ultimate reality. But it's still not clear, very clear. We exactly mean when say ultimate reality is spiritual. Ultimate reality is spiritual. Where does it go? Okay, so the ultimate character, personally I believe that the ultimate character of reality is spiritual. But in order to avoid widespread misunderstanding, it is necessary to point at the Einstein theory, which is a scientific theory, deals only with the structure of things, throws no light on the ultimate nature of things which possess that structure. I'm not sure what does he mean by this, but let's think a bit about it. The claim that Einstein theory is about the structures of things and not about the nature of things, or structures of things and not about the nature of things. And one obvious point to make here is that Einstein's theory of relativity, I think he's talking about relativity here, is not an isolated theory. It works in the context of other theories within physics. So it is part of the discipline of physics. So even if it talks only about the structures of things, doesn't mean that it doesn't presuppose the views about nature of things as propounded in classical physics, for example. Even if it, updates some of those views, it surely presuppose a lot of those views. So even if it is a structural theory, doesn't mean that it doesn't have any views about the nature of things. Okay, so that's the one thing. Beyond that, I think even on its own, it's not correct to say that it's just a structural theory. But for sure, there are many structural elements in the theory. And by structure, obviously, among other things, we mean relationships. The relationship between space, time, motion, matter, for example. So that's clearly something structural. And there are other structural elements. But there are other things which point to nature of thing, or more than structure. For example, E is equal to mc2. That's about the structure of, sorry, not just about the structure, but about the nature of matter. There's a relationship between energy and uh, matter here. Um, there's a relationship between mass and energy, which obviously has implication for the relationship between matter and energy, and then implications about the nature of. Similarly, time contraction, uh, bending of the light by gravity, all these things which are predicted by the theory point to the nature of things, at least at some level. So it doesn't seem to me that it's correct to say that Einstein theory is just about the structure of things. But maybe he is talking about something else. We'll see. I think we should stop here. I would have liked to go on, but I have to pray Fajr. The time is the sunset is close. So inshallah we'll continue this in the next session inshallah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa salli wa sallam ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa azwajihi wa dhurriyyatihi ajma'in bi rahmatika ya